And the Marquoyer has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Sanderson made a wild stab for spell. Here's another shot. Right in front of score. Sanderson has scored for Canada.
Let's move all the way over to Edmonton.
Yep.
Right.
Rivals.
Yeah. Rivals. With McDavid, the game that they played against, was it the Ducks, right? That's the game where the statement came out, right?
Yep.
So
when Quenneville got his 1,000th win.
the 1,000 win, right? I believe
Yeah.
that was the same game.
It was the same game. That's right.
Yeah. I didn't get the chance to watch
Oh,
that
I
game.
watched it. It was such a good game to watch.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So he came out after the game, McDavid, and, the statement came out from whoever this so-called media guy was. He didn't even ask a question. He just went for a statement. And he just made a long statement, and he's like, and then McDavid's like, okay. Like
The funniest part was too, I think he knew going into it because he said, hey, this is going to be kind of hot or something like that. He said like, hey, this is going to be, I think he knew what he was doing.
But he wasn't asking a question.
No, he wasn't. He just
Fucking
said,
moron.
He just said, hey, like, you've lost 2 Game 7s and stuff like that. And he's like, you lost now with Team Canada at the Olympics, and then he completely forgets that they won 4 Nations, and he scored the game-winning goal at the 4 Nations, and he says something like that, right? And
Fucking idiots, man.
That's what I'm saying.
How the fuck do these people have jobs? Why are we sitting here doing a goddamn podcast?
No.
Nobody's paying us, but these dumb fucks are sitting over there, can't even think. Maybe you sit down for half an hour and think of better questions. How hard is it?
No, but
how fucking hard is it to think of a question? You got ChatGPT these days.
Yeah.
You don't even need to do the thinking. You could literally get ChatGPT to write down your goddamn questions and ask the one of the greatest players who has ever put on skates, and you go up there and then you say that shit. Like you're in front of greatness, buddy. Like you're literally a touch away from greatness, and you come out with that dumb statement.
No, it's so crazy. I'm like,
You should have walked out of that room, buddy.
It's so
You
crazy.
should've.
It's so crazy because, like you said, it's right now. It's the greatest player of this generation, right? At
Buddy,
least,
maybe even ever.
I think
We're
talent
not
wise,
talking about.
ever.
Maybe not achievements of
No,
course different,
and
but talent wise, dude, he's
Talent wise, greatest player. But one thing too is, this guy changed the game, and not a lot of people like realize that. Like you see, like Bedard, Celebrini, all that is due to McDavid, right? Can you agree with that?
yeah.
It like the amount of time like this guy puts into edge work, skating, and stuff like that, and it changed the game. And then now the game isn't like big and strong; it's fast and quick and agile.
Yeah.
And I don't think they really how can you ask that? It's one player too. It's not like like I said, it's not boxing or tennis where you can just be like, hey, it's not like Nadal, like, hey, you're a choke artist. It's a team game. There's other players. Like, how do you ask that question? And then it's a slap in the
It's not
face
even
to
a
the team.
question. It's a
But
fucking
no, but make a
statement.
statement. That's what I'm saying. And it's to the team. It's a slap in the face. Like, there's no one else there. Like, it's just all up to this one guy.
Dude,
That's
his
what I'm
name
saying.
is
It's so
Mick
crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
For a reason.
for a reason.
Right? You go up to him, and then you got to bring your best
No.
in front of him.
And
It doesn't matter if you're a journalist. Doesn't matter if you're an opponent.
Yep.
You got to bring your best. And if you're gonna come up with that shit, buddy, how do you have a job, man?
No,
Get rid of these idiots.
The craziest thing too is like, okay, they choked in Game 7, but keep in mind too that he and maybe Draisaitl single-handedly, those two guys, won the next 3 games to force a Game 7, and he forgets all that stuff, right? So it's nuts.
No, because these people, they're coming with motive. They're not coming here to actually find out something new from you. Not asking a very informative question where you get some kind of knowledge from the player. Like, wow, I actually didn't look at, as a journalist, you're like, wow, okay, I never looked at the game like that. And you gave me some kind of nice information. I get it. Hockey players don't like to give that information, but that's because you as a media, you guys haven't done your job. That's why okay. So another thing is, if you say as hockey analysts or fans, why do hockey players don't open up? Your media is also the reason. Maybe the major reason why these players don't open up is because this media, these media personalities, these journalists, don't actually give these players a chance to open up. They don't ask them back and forth questions. They don't actually want to know something. They just want to put somebody on the ground and get some kind of clickbait slip from the player, and so they could use it. and then just bash on the player.
Well, even 100% too. Like big on Connor McDavid, he didn't like blow up or like say anything like.
Buddy, if I was him, I would have flipped that podium right on top of that guy's head.
But 100%, right? Like I bet you he went there and he was just trying to get a reaction out of McDavid, and then he was gonna be like, "Hey, look at this captain of your team," and he's just lost control. Like what type of lead? Like it would have spun off even more, right?
It's easy with negative statements. You could take it a billion ways.
Mm-hmm.
You could, if you want to rip somebody apart, it could be anybody with reputation. You could rip them in. What's there's a saying, right? If you want to build up your reputation, it takes an entire lifetime. But when you want to tear it down, you could do it within a second.
Yeah.
That's literally the case here. Like all these players, they work hard, they do everything, but these journalists don't absolutely give them no opportunities, no chances for them to keep that reputation. All they're doing is they're in that room trying to rip these people down. These great people trying to bring them down these podiums. Who the fuck are you people to do that? Who gave you the right to do that? I'm getting sick and tired of it. That's why I totally I accept that the players want to be reserved. They don't want to give any emotions because these media people, they have not done their job. I'm trying to get rid of these people.
But there
should be a huge long list on Reddit and just that's it, man. Just get rid of these people. Go and start boycotting the Toronto Star and these things, and just get rid of these dumbasses.
No, but even the way he said it too, like he said something along the lines of like, hey, like like you're starting to get known as someone who can't perform in these key moments and stuff like that. Like, why do you have to word it like in that nature? Why couldn't you have said, hey, what are you gonna do different, or hey, what can you do to improve so that this doesn't happen next time? It's just. And not even like that's the question you ask. He just put out a statement, and even Connor McDavid was like, "What do you want me to say?"
Yeah,
right?
you're just saying an open-ended thing, or you're trying to say that's what I'm thinking or something. I'm not thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
You just said that. Okay, great. But I mean, if you wanted to question it differently, you would say, "Listen, win or loss, I guess every athlete there's always a lessons learned to everything." Of course, this Olympic this is your first Olympic, so it must be something that. You took certain moments and you must have learned some great things. What are those things that you learned from this tournament playing with these great players, even though you lost? But of course, there's always something you can learn. So what do you think you could apply to this team?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not even the best question because I'm thinking on top of my head.
Yeah.
But because I would actually, if I'm going to meet with greatness, I would sit there maybe for a couple of hours and actually think of really good questions.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have to give the guy a chance to give you an answer by saying that, I play at a fast level, but when you have the best of the best playing on the same team, you start realizing that it's not all about speed. I have to bring this game to the game. I have to be defensively maybe a little better, or I gotta my rushes. I can't rush it like this. I gotta slow the game. Whatever it is, whatever he had to think, you just didn't even give him a chance of asking that question, and now you lost the opportunity.
No, but even like you said earlier too, like I agree with you too. Like with media asking the questions like this, like players don't want to open up because they're gonna feel like everything they say is gonna get criticized to like the 10th level, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's one thing that I think that's hurting like personalities in this game and stuff like that.
I don't even think he's personality, man. We're just as fans in Canada, we're getting such a bad rep.
Yeah.
Like everybody across the board, all the way across. Look, Hellebuck came out the statement. And he said that, he loved winning for US, but he kind of felt bad. Like he kind of felt sad for Jets fans because, as Canada, when he has to go back, he said it in such a nice political way where he talked right in between. And Winnipeg fans, they applauded him, which was good for Hellebuck, how he came out with his statement. If you want, you could read it too. He said the most perfect PR statement. If he feels that way, if he doesn't feel that way, we'll never know him. But the thing is, he played it the smart way. But then at the same time, don't you really want to get to know these players? And if he did feel the way that he's really happy to be an American and he's proud of it, then why is that a bad thing?
But I was gonna say too, like it's sports, man. Like someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose.
And
like
it was a close goddamn game.
That's what I'm saying. It's
right?
not like they got blown out. They lost in overtime, and in overtime too, it's one goal. You know what I mean? So it's like not. I feel like they're just trying to blow this out. You know what I mean? Like, and even still, like
it's just media. I'm telling you, man. It's these journalists. If you get rid of the fog and you just get away from Twitter or all these fans from both sides fighting each other. If you just remove that, the distraction, just bob and weave, and you just get to the root of how this is all starting, I'm telling you, man. Is those journalists, or those entertainers? There's only like a dozen of them, and they're doing it.
I was gonna say, like, they go like this too. This was in the finals, and they lost in overtime. Imagine if they had lost to Finland.
Yeah,
The criticism they would have gotten,
exactly.
right? So it's just nuts.
Oh, then they would have came up to the U.S. like, oh well, you guys didn't really win a gold.
Yeah, because you guys didn't. You guys never beat
You
Canada.
get what I mean? They could always make narrative. It's so easy doing that. I mean, you're as a journalist, your job's supposed to be like investigative journalist. It's supposed to take you weeks and stuff to come up with some great information. But these are so lazy now. I'm
Which is
telling
crazy.
you, ChatGPT. I guess these guys could use that too now. Like, maybe that's what they're using. Anyways, I've been getting. I told you today I was gonna get really riled up. For me, it wasn't even about the game. I wanted to rip on these guys. But just a simple question about McDavid. Do you see him any differently?
No, he's
Right?
still the greatest player.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it didn't happen. Didn't win. But he's still a blessing for the game, and he's a blessing for
The
Canadians.
funniest part, too,
Oilers
is-
fans too. No, they appreciate what he is.
The craziest part too is they lost that game, but then the next night they thumped LA.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like a close game. They beat them like I think 8-1 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Which-
speaking of LA now,
Yeah.
Hiller's fired.
Gone, yeah. I think
Oh,
it
he
was
should have been fired last year.
I was gonna say once he challenged that call, I think it was downhill.
He should have fired him this next game.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
it.
done.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
it
It's
was
be
just-
interesting what the King. I mean, they did it because Panarin. There's a lot of pressure now. They have to. Now the window.
That's once they made
going.
that
They
trade,
have to
and,
win.
and it sucks too because Fiala got hurt at the Olympics. So
Yeah.
like it kind of sucks. You just made that trade, and then one of your key pieces
He's
is
injured. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't know what the
and what
Kings
they're
are gonna do.
even I think they have like one of the older rosters in the NHL
Yeah.
too. So like
Like
they're
Kopitar's last year.
that's what I'm saying. They're windows now, right? So unfortunate, but
Now to another Canadian team, same topic. Brady. So this one maybe, I feel like this one's gonna be more controversial because Brady Tkachuk and Jake Sanderson when they came back to Ottawa, because I guess Brady's the one who made the statement about closing the northern border.
I never seen this. So
Okay, so
so
let's
watch it.
Let's
Yeah.
put the interview on. Okay, so it wasn't Brady who said close the northern border. Clearly,
Yeah.
it was somebody else. Oh,
Yeah.
what are you saying? What did Trump say?
Yeah, he said something about
Bro,
the.
everybody knows Trump is a goddamn comedian. That's all he does.
No, well, he's just like as guilty as these reporters trying to get these.
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
But what else do you expect from him?
No.
It's like I feel like just when you're looking at these reporters, they're always just like getting pissed off that the president said this. Like, buddy, we all know this. He's one of those kind of weird people in the room. You just try to have to ignore him.
Yeah,
Like,
you
got
know,
no
you know,
choice.
one thing I noticed after watching that interview is like the way the media are going after these American players that play in Canada. It's like they have to apologize for winning,
Yeah,
which
why?
is
Why?
crazy, and like they should feel bad for winning gold. Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean?
What the reporter was going to ask next was that Trump made a statement about, we have to invite the women's team now, right? And everybody laughed.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know how like if somebody makes a joke, but there's a group of people and everybody is just, they all just, and when people start laughing, you start laughing. Like that's like my defense for these guys. That's what I would say. Is like, how the room starts laughing, but then you don't really think about
What it is
all
because
the
you're just
nitty-gritty
in
stuff
the
that
moment.
people are gonna
Yeah.
start ripping, shredding things apart.
Yep.
I feel like it's more like that because Trump is just, he's
He's
gonna
just
make
wild,
he's gonna
yeah.
make those wild statements.
Yeah.
That's what he does, and then everybody always he always just throws the fish like the bait, and everybody just catches it.
Just hooks
it's just
on, yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And he giggles all the time, and like he does this. He's just he's a troll, right? And with the Brady thing and everything, yeah, he's a captain of the Ottawa Senators. True. But he is not the captain of the Ottawa Senators once that jersey comes off and the U.S. jersey comes on. He's playing for the States. He's not playing for Ottawa.
That's exactly
Once he wins it and he crosses over the border and he puts the Ottawa Senators jersey on, then he's the captain again. So you have to split the two people. You cannot keep saying that it's the same guy. He has to be the Ottawa Senators captain while he's playing for the States. No, that's not how it works.
But the crazy thing too is like, okay, sure, like they won gold, right? Because they beat Canada, but like imagine if Sweden or they let's say they beat the U.S. and then they were playing Canada and we lost to Sweden. Would they be
No, it would not. This situation right now where you're
it
having,
would not,
it would not be
happen.
like this.
So that's
Not
what
at
I'm
all.
saying. Like, what's so different?
Because all these reporters, Canadian reporters and everybody, at the end of the day, they have to accept that the U.S. beat us. What the hell is this? My hair? Give me a second. These reporters. These
He got you
reporters.
so stressed all day.
Dude, I don't know what it is today, but like I've just been looking at these reporters.
No.
I was like, why am I not doing this work?
No,
This is so stupid. But I'm saying these reporters, they have to accept the fact that Canada lost, and they can't accept it. They have to find some mini victory out of this. So they have to ask these little snarky comments, or they have to say something to bring these guys down.
But even still, like even in that same interview, like she brought up the hey, close the northern border. Like Brady Tkachuk didn't say it, and she's
no,
just
even
trying.
whoever said it, as a Canadian, I'm just like, sure, it's a joke, whatever.
No,
Fuck
but
it.
even-
whatever, it is what it is.
but
Like,
even-
listen, they won, and they're just taking jabs at us.
No, that's
all
but
it
that's
is.
exactly all I was saying was like she's trying to find something to stick and trying to get him to say something wild and outrageous. Or,
Would
you
it
know
be
what I mean?
okay if Canada won? Then they're saying that, look at us, we're not the 51st state, we're our own country, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
We would have made that kind of statement. Then U.S. There's people on the other side that will get upset.
No.
Like, dude,
But
people,
even
find
so,
reasons to get
so
upset all the
one
time.
thing too is okay. Like let's say we had won gold. Let's say we won gold.
Yeah.
All the Canadian players playing in the states, like would Crosby in Pittsburgh
Yeah.
been asked the same thing?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's so wild, and like I get it. The game's a lot bigger here than it is
It's
in the U.S.
hypocrisy, man.
But-
But these journalists, they're not held to a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
For them, it's like no, they're whatever narrative they build up, they want to just lean on it. That's it.
No,
But
and
they'll
even
never think of it from the other point of view. Okay, if this happens and that happens, then how would I play with that?
No,
Like,
no.
they're gonna just grind the guy
even
down.
still, like looking at the way he's talking, he's just like he almost feels bad. Like, hey, sorry, I won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's crazy.
People
Same thing
are-
with Hellbuck making that statement. He pretty much apologizing for winning gold, which is crazy.
No, it's
And is
this
that the mentality you want to build in? Like you want to make them feel bad for winning? No, you want to make them feel good. Hey, good job, you won
That's what I'm
gold.
saying. It's not the fans who are making these players. They're
No.
not cornering them and trying to kick them out of the country and
No.
saying that you go play for the States. We don't want Americans. None of the fans are feeling that way. Is these journalists? They're creating these
Narratives.
and they're gonna push everybody out. Why? If you love the game, win or lose, it's a big deal. U.S. won, and I think when it comes to growing the game in the States and everything, this is gonna help a lot. That's the one positive you could say, that when U.S. winning, it's gonna. Celebrini. By the way, Celebrini home games in San Jose has skyrocketed. I think it went by like 62%. His jerseys, everything started skyrocketing, selling because of the Olympics. And now they're sold out games for the San Jose Sharks. Why did that happen? The Olympics. I know he's a Canadian, but on the American side, it's gonna happen the same thing too. The game's gonna grow. There's a lot of people, a lot of kids are growing up. The game's gonna grow in the States. So I get it. Canadian point of view, you're like, oh no, we're losing the game. But the American side, look at it at a bright side. And I think you gotta look at it. Stop being biased. Even as Canadians, if you love this game, if you truly are a hockey fan, then you gotta accept the good. Look at it in a positive way of the game. I know I've been criticizing for the last almost 55 minutes, but it's more of the journalists. I think they're not doing their job. The players, they're playing their hardest, man.
Yeah, crazy. You know, I get it too. Like the fans too. Like the craziest, funniest thing I seen on TikTok this week was Hockey Illuminati channel or whatever. The guy came out and said, "Hey, don't boo Auston Matthews. It's already hard enough getting players to come play for the Leafs." Like I don't think anyone was gonna boo him for winning, right? Like he won gold. Like they won after so long. Like I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's this narrative everybody keeps building up.
Yeah,
I
that-
don't think they're booing him for that reason.
Yeah.
It was not to do with the Olympics. I think for the Leaf fans, for the fans who are watching, it's just that they expect more from him.
Yeah.
That's it. Because they know that he's capable of it. It's just that he hasn't shown it in a while.
Mhm.
That's the only reason why. So but people outside of
You know-
Toronto and the US, and they keep and a lot of the players came out and tried to defend Matthews, saying that Leaf fans, you guys should be light on him. It's just that people here in Toronto watch more Leaf games than anybody else outside of it. So they are very analytical because there's not a lot of knowledge with a lot of the fans here. So they watch every single thing. It's just there's a lot of high expectations because they know that guy has potential. They wouldn't expect a lot from certain players that don't have the potential. They know that he has that specialness that he could take the team over the hump. It's just unfortunately he hasn't shown in a while. That's it. It's not a bad thing. I do think that he, after this Olympics, I think is a great thing individually for him. I think even as a captain, this off season, he can grow as a guy. There's a lot of things you can learn from wins and losses. McDavid could definitely learn from all these losses too, and going towards these playoffs, certain things, maybe he feels like certain mistakes he made, he will not make them in the playoffs. He'll be ready. And Auston Matthews, same thing. I think long-term wise, maybe he learned a lot from winning this thing, and his luck and everything else will change too. You got to be optimistic about these guys. I feel like they're in such high greatness that they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You stop being so negative all the time. You could be negative about the teams and everything, but certain players, they are great players, man.
One thing I noticed too is like, it's funny the way the media works, right?
Yeah.
It's like when it's time to criticize, it's like then they don't want to criticize the team. Like, you know, when the team's doing bad or thing, they're like, hey, no, they'll get over this hump. It's just tough stretch right now. Or like, you know, they'll like, oh, like for the longest time, the Leafs were doing so bad. They didn't criticize the team. They just said, hey, and then they tried spinning around like the positive. And now they're finally like at a point where they're like, you know, it's kind of like dire hopes of them making the playoffs. And I'm like, now is where they're kind of starting to criticize. Like, it's never consistent. Like you said, they're just riding the wave, right? Earlier.
Yeah. That's all it is. So,
and that's what the media is, right? Like, I think the way it is there's no consistency. It's just what's happening right now. They're just trying to do it to get views.
You're just constantly getting people to attack. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The people can't just relax and say, all right, Leafs lost 3 in a row. It's nothing to watch here. It is what it is. Let's just relax. Let's not, no big deal. No, it's not going to be that. The media is always going to try to reel you right back in with a new story that is a made-up story. There's nothing going on. They're just making a big deal out of it because they just caught the player slipping. Maybe he said something. Maybe he rolled his eyes or whatever the hell he did. Maybe on the ice, he missed one little call, and that's it. They'll just pull something, make something out of it.
But even still, like, the thing is, like, you, like, sure, like, you could, there's that side of journalism, like, being crazy. But, like, imagine how nice it would be just to hear, like the backstory to these players. Like, I would love to hear, like, stuff like how these players approach game day and what they do in their personal, like, just to get to know the player, too.
There's no trust between these media guys and the players.
Yeah.
And don't say the player has to take the first step. No. It's for the media to take the first step, and you got to stop being such a threat. If I'm going to end this podcast, that's what I would say, is that these guys come out as a threat, and then you make the players feel hostile. That's the reason we are where we are. So whoever, the old journalists, I gave up on them. You guys are done. It's over. The game has grown faster than you guys can and where your mind could comprehend. I think it's over. You don't understand how the game works. You guys are done. Move on. I would say for the youngest the younger journalists, I think you guys should look at all this stuff that's happening and then think about how we can do a better job and making these players feel safe in these press conferences and everything, and how we could be better and ask better questions. Once you guys do that, trust me, the players will start trusting you. Their personalities will start coming out, and I think it'll be good for the game and it'll be positive for the fans as well. That's all I got to say now.
Do you think there's that side of it too? Like, but I'm just thinking the opposite side. Like, do you think like there should be a higher level of criticism just because they're like athletes and they're getting paid what they're getting paid?
You could criticize them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, of course, criticism is, you got to criticize them too, but there's a way of criticizing a player.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way, if you're, as a journalist, you should be asking a very good, valid question that the question is towards the criticism side, but you're not making a statement. But it's a good, credible question that you're actually criticizing the player, but the player has a right to defend himself and give a good, valid answer. But the question has to be layered properly. But the questions are the way that they're layered right now. It's complete. It's like a death threat in a way. The way they come out, and the players are just like, no, like we tried our best and we dumped the puck.
Just trying to be too political.
And the boys, they tried, but we're gonna go back and we're gonna go back to practice and we'll come out next game stronger. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't expect anything less, but that's what I would do.